What if I told you 1910 was the year that forever changed the face of baseball? From intense rivalries to record-breaking moments, 1910 was a game changer in America's favorite pastime. Stick around as we dive into this pivotal year in baseball history in the latest episode of our series. The year is 1910. Baseball is more than just a game. It's becoming a national obsession. With the National League and American League battling for supremacy, the competition is fierce, and the stakes have never been higher. The Philadelphia Athletics, who missed out on the 1909 American League pennants to the Detroit Tigers, were the dominant team in the American League in the 1910 MLB season. The Athletics won 102 games. They were the only team in the American League that season to win more than 90 games. Meanwhile, the Chicago Cubs won the National League pennant with a 104-50 record. After the classic 1909 World Series, fans eagerly anticipated the 1910 World Series between the Athletics and the Cubs. Additionally, the total attendance numbers demonstrate the growing popularity of baseball in 1910. Both the Athletics and the Cubs drew more than 500,000 fans in total across their home games in the 1910 season. In the American League, the 1910 pennant race was one for the ages. The Philadelphia Athletics, led by the legendary manager Connie Mack, were locked in a fierce battle with the New York Highlanders. However, the Athletics later clinched the pennant and booked their ticket to the 1910 World Series. Chief Bender, Eddie Collins, and Jack Coombs were three of the Athletics' star players. Coombs was the star pitcher, Collins was the star second baseman and best hitter, and Bender was another exceptional pitcher with 155 strikeouts. Only Coombs struck out more players for the Athletics than Bender in the 1910 season. The Athletics and Highlanders had a fierce rivalry, playing each other 21 times that season. The Athletics went 12-9 against the Highlanders. These 12 wins played a major part in helping the Athletics clinch the 1910 AL pennant. The 1910 World Series saw the Philadelphia Athletics face off against the Chicago Cubs in what would become a historic matchup. The Cubs were no strangers to the World Series, but the Athletics were hungry for their first championship. The Athletics won Game 1 4-1 thanks to excellent pitching by Chief Bender and solid hitting by several Athletics players, including Frank Baker. This set the tone for the series. Jack Coombs won 3 games, and the Athletics' bats were relentless as they scored 9 runs in Game 2, 12 in Game 3, and 7 in the series-clinching Game 5 win. The Cubs managed to win Game 4 by a score of 4-3 in 10 innings to avoid a sweep, but this was simply a consolation victory. The Athletics won their first World Series championship. But 1910 wasn't just about team rivalries. It was also the year of baseball's first MVP race, the Chalmers Award. Ty Cobb and Napoleon Lajoie were the frontrunners, and what happened next was nothing short of controversial. Cobb and Lajoie battled to finish with the highest batting average that season. It went down to the final day, but Lajoie prevailed. The St. Louis Browns used questionable tactics against Lajoie on the final day of the season, making a rookie third baseman play on the field's outfield grass. This made it easy for Lajoie to get hits even with bunts. Ultimately, the controversy meant that Cobb and Lajoie jointly won the Chalmers Award. The events of 1910 were more than just headlines. They were milestones that helped solidify baseball as America's pastime. From the excitement of the World Series to the birth of the MVP race, 1910 was a defining year in the sport's history. That wraps up our look at the pivotal year of 1910 in baseball. If you enjoyed this deep dive into America's pastime, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment on your favorite moment from 1910, and don't forget to subscribe for more episodes on the history of baseball.